go ahead and get started. This is my favorite shirt. You'll have to forgive me because I just got back from Mid-Ohio testing at the racetrack, so I'm jet lagged, I'm feeling lazy, I didn't want to get ready, but I have to make this video for you guys. So, someone had to do it, honestly. Like, someone had to do it. Nobody this hot's gonna teach you about racing, so let's get right into it. I have to say, this is a lot more vulnerable than just posting stupid videos online. Like, this series I have been procrastinating more than anything because it feels very vulnerable to share all the knowledge that I've acquired in this industry, but it's so much easier to just sell my feet pictures online. That is a walk in the park for me. But this has been the most challenging thing I've done. So weird. But anyway, a lot of you might know me from my videos on Instagram as the girl who's gotten fired a lot.
Not at the same time, I got fired.
Or the girl that has worked in the trades, who was famously known for her eyelashes being called cumbrellas. You might know me from these videos, so if you're here, thank you for being here. My name's Cassandra Moreno. I'm a race car engineer becoming a star. We're in the process of doing that, so what do race car engineers actually do? I have no idea, honestly. I do my best, I know that. Before we talk about that, we need to talk about racing a little bit because it blows my mind how much people actually do not know the ins and outs of this industry. And it's not your fault. There's not a lot of resources out there that get to show you the behind the scenes stuff of what the crew actually does and what we actually do in our day-to-day. So that's why I'm here. Let's get into it. Let's talk about racing first. Because contrary to popular belief, there's so much more than Formula One out there. Which leads me to my introduction of my first series, the Racing Muse Academy, where I tell you everything that I know about motorsports. With some personal funny stories in there too. I've been doing this a long time. In this series, over the next few weeks, I will be telling you guys everything that I have learned in motorsports, being a mechanic starting all the way up to race engineering and some exciting news that I'm going to introduce later in terms of working in motorsports. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to be here teaching you about vehicle dynamics, setups, all the professional stuff, all the non-professional stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and just basically everything. The biggest question that I get asked is, who's your favorite F1 driver? Who's your F1 team? Which, thank you so much for asking, but there's so much more to racing than just Formula One. It is one of the biggest series, for sure, but there's so much more. The top 5 racing series right now are going to be, yes, Formula One, then you have IndyCar, and third would be NASCAR, and then you have IMSA and SRO racing series. Those are the top 5 streamed right now. No favorite to watch is Supercross, but that's just me. I find it really entertaining and fun, and that's just my personal preference. They're all great, don't get me wrong, but if you ask me what my favorite Formula One racing team is, like, I watch Supercross. So each one of these series that I've described has their own set of cars that they run. They have different drivers, different rules, different track schedules, and because of that, they come with their own set of unique challenges. So inside these series is race teams, and I like to describe this exactly as they are, as professional sports organizations. So we're going to use the example of soccer, since the World Cup is today, and I'm voting for Argentina, so we'll see what happens. I'll follow up after this video, after we watch it. I'm going to use the example of soccer. Right now, the World Cup is going on, so we have those different teams representing their country. Racing is the exact same way. Inside that paddock, we have different teams representing different car brands. And these teams will build the cars, they will hire mechanics, they will work with drivers throughout the season. That's how the teams inside these series work. Think of it like the World Cup. each one of these teams is representing their country. Instead of countries in this case, it's going to be different car brands. And each team is very unique. Like right now, I'm currently running with a team that drives for Aston Martin, and we have 2 different drivers. Some teams just have 1 driver. Some teams like to even bring their own car. Like depending on how it's structured, every team operates a little bit differently. But regardless of how they operate, each single team has the same objective of winning the damn race. But that's not all. That's where things get interesting for me in what I do as the engineer. Since each series has different rules, I'm not shitting you. The rule book is like, it's so big, okay? It's so thick. The rule books in these series are very particular and they're redundant. But it's what makes the competition, more safe, fair, whatever. I don't know. I would love to try this in the 80s to see what kind of rules they actually had back then, because back then they didn't even have hit speeds. It's just fucking go. That would be fun to experience once, but we'll never get that kind of. Anyway, engineers spend a ridiculous amount of time just reading the regulations alone, because each series will have their own set of regulations. So what kind of tires we can run, how hot those tires can get, how much the car can weigh, or what kind of fuel we're allowed to use. Like there's so many regulations and thousands of other things that go into making the race as competitive and safe and fair as they possibly can. So each series has different regulations of those rules. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to win. So that's a little bit about how racing works and how it's structured. So before we talk about all the things like horsepower and setups and vehicle dynamics, aerodynamics, setup changes, race strategies, all that fun stuff that I'm going to cover throughout this entire series, we need to understand the playing field that we're working in first. So that's how racing works. That's how it's structured. And there's so much more than just Formula One, please, guys. Now that we understand the playing field a little bit better, it's easier for us to move forward and understand that it's not just about a car going fast. It's about making the car go fast within those specific rules and regulations. And honestly, that's my favorite part as a race engineer is being able to make that magic happen in different strategies and just play around and see what works. Because it's at the end of the day, it's a sport. We're competing. It's not just a job. Thank you for watching, Divas. I hope you stick around, because in the next episode, I'm going to be answering the question that I get every single day. And that is, how do you get into motorsports? So subscribe, stick around. I can't wait to keep this series going with you. So thanks. Bye. My heart's going pitter-patter. So scary.